seasonal workers. If you are a seasonal worker, seasoned seasonal worker, or a novice like myself, or someone that's just interested in learning more about it, I have a free seasonal worker guide that's on my front page. It's just a Google Doc. So click on the link and it will take you to Google Docs, and it's about 40 pages. I just want to take about 5 minutes and go over the chapters, just some of them, because some of them are really important and I want to get this information out, particularly about trafficking. So I do have a chapter on trafficking, and as we've been seeing with Jeffrey Epstein, his victims are typically taken to hotels. So I have a chapter on trafficking, and there's a free training link website that you should go to if you want to be trained. Some hotels are better than others about getting trained. I was trained at some I was not. But I took this online course, and it's all for free, and I found it to be very, very important and valuable. So I believe the company's pronounced Polaris, but you'll find that in my chapter under trafficking. I have a bunch of statistics on trafficking, and particularly because we work in the hotel industry for most of us, or in the parks, that's where our victims are taken to. So it's important that if you're at a park, a hotel, a resort, RV site, campsite, our victims are going there. So we want to make sure that we can step in where we need to, but also keep our own safety in mind. So definitely look at those statistics. It's not my opinion. These are all data fact-driven evidence. So feel free to download all the websites that I have listed and read over the statistics for yourself. But another chapter I have is on bullying. Bullying happens no matter where you go in any line of work, but it's important that you step in. It's important that you stop the bullying, and it's important that you don't be a bully. I mean, I've been bullied. I left, but at 45, I'm 47 now, but it happened at 45, and I was just able to leave because I have the finances to do so. A 19-year-old might not. Somebody who has to be there for like a college internship experience might not be able to leave. Someone who needs the income, the housing, they might not be able to leave. But say something. Don't just let it happen. If you are a mean-spirited person, I would just really implore you to find another line of work. You're not the one that's looking good, like you might think. This is, somebody who's in hospitality is pretty warm-hearted. They want to have a good experience, and they try to make sure that their guests have a good experience. So it doesn't look like you're a good fit, so maybe you should just go find a different line of work instead of showing your mean side. It's just not necessary. But there's a lot of information on there. Of course, there's consequences to bullying behavior, mental decline, emotional health decline. It just doesn't need to happen, but good information so you could be aware of, particularly if you're a parent, you might want to be reading this guide and going it over with your children because safety issues do happen. There's suicide rates, unfortunately. I found a lot of perk data on that, but mom and pop, individual owner, hotels, resorts, tour excursions, all of that, typically I couldn't find any data. They don't necessarily have to report it. I think the federal perks do have to report that. So download that so you understand, and then you have a recourse. You know what to do for those situations to either help somebody or to help yourself. There's a chapter on loneliness. Now, not everybody is good at reaching out and asking for help. Some people might not even realize that they need help. When I was working at a place in West Yellowstone, I had a friend whose depression was getting really bad, and it wasn't anything else that I could do to help her to manage it, so I had to get the management involved. Stuff like that you might have to do, and of course you want to be sensitive to doing that. So I really do implore you to read over those chapters. There's other chapters in there about housing, prices of housing, questions that you should be asking for housing. I didn't know I needed to ask about the water tank because I thought all water tanks were one size, but I was wrong. I had a tiny, tiny little water tank that fit underneath the kitchen counter, so it only gave hot water for 7 minutes. It just wasn't doable. The very beginning of this guide will go over job sites. So not just CoolWorks or Indeed or LinkedIn. We know about those. But there's a whole bunch of other job sites, whether you want to do outdoor work, park work, RV work, tour excursion work, ski work. I mean, you name it, farming, homestead, all that stuff. If you want to work internationally, there's information on there for U.S. workers to get job international and to get paid for it. There's also a bunch of Facebook groups that you should be definitely joining. It's a great resource. I've taken jobs based on what current and former employees have said. I've also not taken jobs based on what current and former employees had said about places. So you can join like Perkies for ladies, service industry, and these are just different Facebook groups. And you can just post, say, hey, I got a job at Glacier. Tell me about the housing. Hey, I got a job at Yosemite. Tell me about the management. And other people will have threads that they've already started so you can kind of join in. But it's really good because you want to find out the vibe. You want to find out like the management style. You want to find out about the housing. You just want to make sure before you make a commitment that's going to be the right fit for you. And that's what I find that the Facebook groups do. There's also chapters on salary comparison. and many other chapters. So if you find something that I missed, definitely let me know, put it in the comments, and I will update it in my guide. But follow my Facebook page, like this as well. I'm going to be making different videos more so about the content that's in the guide and just some experiences that I've had to help navigate this whole journey that we call seasonal work. So I hope the information helps you.